biex infakru in-nies li mietu fil-baħar Mediterran, f'dal-baħar li hawn warajna biex infakru l-imwiet tagħhom u biex inkunu f'solidarjetà mal-familjari tagħhom, mal-komunitajiet tagħhom li għadhom f'pajjiżhom ukoll. Qegħdin hawnhekk ukoll biex infakru li dawn l-imwiet mhumiex sforz ta' traċedja u koinċidenza, imma huma frott ta' policies ċari u deċiżjonijiet li jittieħdu kuljum mill-awtoritajiet tagħna. Ħanaddi l-kelma issa lil David Yambio mill-organizzazzjoni Refugees in Libya, huwa refuġat mill-Sudan t'isfel, mis-South Sudan, u ħajkellimna jagħmel 4 kelmiet fuq din l-okkażjoni. Grazie.
I can't say thank you to the people who have come here today because I find no pressure in looking at the cameras and people surrounding me to speak about people who have been murdered, to speak about people who had to lose their lives because of border externalization, because of border brutality. I'm speaking to you today as a person who has been affected since birth, being born in an internal displaced camp in my country. And at the age of 2 months old, I had to flee with my family, crossing border, being on the move for 25 years, and then crossing different African countries until I reached the North African country where I heard the word illegal, a word which is against the way of living, a word which is against human value, a word which humans does not suppose to use on other human beings. But this word came from the other side of the Mediterranean, from our European authorities, from the politics that started in the West. We have suffered, we have lost lives because of this word. No one is illegal because we look at ourselves with the same unique value that these people who draw their policies with the pens, and we suffer the consequences with our life, with our blood, with our loved ones, with our friends, who have to die not only on the Mediterranean, the border externalization, the EU policies that have extended all the way to the Sahel, to Niger, to Libya, to Tunisia, to Morocco. We have seen what is happening and what has happened since 2014 in Morocco, between Spain. We have seen children dying at our coast of Malta, in Lampedusa. We have seen people being sent back to Libya in inhuman concentration camps, where we are detained, and all this system is financed by our European authorities. All these systems are financed under our watch as the common people. It's a time when we come to look at these shoes, to question what were the abilities of these people, what were their values, what could they have been. If you are a journalist, if you are making photos today, this could be the same people. If you are here holding banners because you feel that there is a human face somewhere, these are the values of the same people that we left to die at our cost. These are the same people that our authorities have manipulated, that they are coming to invade our country. These are the same people that our politicians that we elected have manipulated us, that they do not deserve to live in peace. Yet when we look at the circumstance where we are fleeing from, it's a war, it's a war regime, it's a civil war, it's different political indifferences that the Western politics have caused. I question myself why I had to leave my country, why I had to flee away. 8 years losing contact with my family, and then forced to take on the Mediterranean because there was war in my country, because there was a lot of weapon, there was a lot of political indifferences brought upon us by the Western policies. It's a time today where we have to question everything. It's a time when we go diving in, swimming in the Mediterranean, we have to question what is inside, in the depths of the Mediterranean. In the depths of the Mediterranean is a dream, is a child, is a 4-year-old child who had to die, whose hope, whose parent tried to bring to safety, where she could live and have a dream, where she could live and have a value of human quality. But as a migrant, as a refugee, as an economic immigrant, as how we have been categorized by the humanitarian organization, by the international community, by the politicians that we elect, we are none of these. We cannot breathe. Today, it's a responsibility upon all of us to start contributing towards a better change, to start confronting our authorities, to change this deadly border regime. I hope today you have learned something. I hope today you can imagine that the people whose shoes are here are people who could sit with you at a dining table, are your children that you could wake up every morning to send to school, but has just their shoes. There are none of these. Be part of the change, please. Thank you.
Grazzi David. Ħanaddu issa għal Hadia Bashir li hija membru tal-Komunità Sudaniża Malta. Hadia, I invite you to come and share some reflections with us. Thank you.
First of all, I accept to be a part of this event today to send messages. I have two important messages. Before the message, I guess I stand with you today as well. Feel pain and sorrow over the death of many people crossing the Mediterranean Sea, which is became the largest cemetery in the world. Many months ago, the Prime Minister of Italy, before became a Prime Minister, she sent a message telling some countries, European countries or government, to leave the African, to live in peace in their countries. So the African nations, they are suffering a lot in Africa. They are not crossing the borders or crossing the sea just to have a fun or to have adventure. No, they are really suffering there. Can you imagine the moment that those people are in the sea, seeing their children sunk, or they can't do nothing to survive or to help their children because they are in the same situation? My first message is, I would like to ask all the organizations in Malta or out of Malta to stand together to open an international investigations to know who involved in this death of these people, and to persecute those who failed to rescue them from the sea or refuse to rescue them from the sea. Please, let us to be together, to support each other, to stop death of these people. It's very painful moment when you receive a call from a family, ask from their children, and you know that 900% they are lost their life on the sea. You can see nothing. Please, let us stand together to support each other, to persecute those who involve who not persecute those people, to persecute everyone that involved in death of these people. This is my real message, and thank you a lot.
Grazzi Hadia, grazzi ta' dawk l-erba' kelmiet. Naħseb il-niket tagħna llum. Il-niket huwa verament maġun mir-rabja li għandna. U naħseb dan huwa s-sentiment ta' din l-attività llum, m'għandniex nifqu għaw. Ma ġejniex hawnhekk biex nibku l-mejtin, ġejna hawnhekk biex nibku l-mejtin imma biex nitolbu għal kambjamenti wkoll. Issa ħanaqra stqarrija konġunta ta' 47 organizzazzjoni li ġew flimkien biex jorganizzaw din l-event. Ħanoqra l-ewwel bil-Malti jiena u mbagħad Dursa ħajaqra traduzzjoni bl-Ingliż. In-nuqqas tazzjoni kontinwa tal-Gvern mir-responsabbiltajiet ta' tfittxija u salvataġġ qed jikkontribwixxu għall-imwiet fil-Mediterran. Fl-2022 aktar minn 1300 persuna mietu jew sparixxew fiċ-ċentru tal-Mediterran. Dawn in-nies, irġiel, nisa, tfal, ulied, jistgħu jiżdiedu man-numru ta' mwiet ta' aktar minn 25,000 persuna li mietu waqt li kienu qed jaqsmu l-Mediterran mill-2014 lil hawn. In-nuqqas kontinwu tal-Gvern Malti li jirfa' r-responsabbiltà tiegħu ta' tfittxija u salvataġġ jikkontribwixxi għal dawn l-imwiet billi jpoġġi l-ħajja ta' dawn in-nies f'riskju. Fl-2022 l-awtoritajiet Maltin injoraw aktar minn 20,000 persuna f'diffikultà fil-baħar. Nafu li 413 il-dajsa f'diffikultà fiż-żona sar ta' Malta ma ġewx assistiti u 3 dajjes biss ġew salvati mill-Forzi Armati ta' Malta. Nies f'diffikultà fiż-żona sar ta' Malta għandhom jiġu salvati mingħajr dewmien. Minkejja l-kliem bombastiku tal-Ministru tal-Intern li jiddefendi d-dominju tiegħu, id-deċiżjonijiet tal-Gvern li jdewmu jevitaw is-salvataġġ qed iwassal direttament għat-telf ta' ħajja fuq il-baħar. Ma nistgħux ma nsemmux lil Luin hawnhekk tifla ta' 4 snin li mietet b'laċċ f'Settembru tal-2022 wara jiem f'diffikultà fiż-żona sar ta' Malta. U ma nistgħux laqqas ma nsemmux l-aħbar li rċevejna jumejn ilu u t-traċedja li qrajna fuqha fil-grazzetti fejn mietu 10 minn nies oħra ukoll miż-żona sar ta' Malta. Fosthom tarbija ta' 4 xhur, nisa tqal u oħrajn. Il-mewt li mwiet ta' dawn in-nies tagħmel ċar il-konsegwenzi tal-azzjonijiet tal-Gvern tagħna. Il-politika qattila adottata mill-awtoritajiet Maltin għandha bżonn tinbidel. Fl-2022 24 u 600 persuna oħra ġew mibgħuta lura lejn il-Libja wara li ġew interċettati fil-baħar. Ir-ritorn tan-nies lejn il-Libja ġie kkundannat b'mod wiesa talli jikser il-liġijiet internazzjonali u l-prinċipju ta' non-refoulement. Il-Libja mhuwiex post sigur. Il-migranti regolarment jiffaċċaw tortura, stupru u mewt f'dak il-pajjiż. Madankollu f'diversi awtoritajiet, l-awtoritajiet Maltin ippermettew lill-Gwardja tal-Kosta Libjana jew anzi ta' istruzzjonijiet lil bastimenti privati biex jirritornaw lin-nies lejn il-Libja mid-żona ta' tfittxija u salvataġġ ta' Malta. L-azzjonijiet ta' Malta qed jirriżultaw fl-abbuż, l-isfruttament u l-mewt ta' eluf ta' nies, inkluż tfal. F'Malta r-retorika u l-prattiċi diviżivi tal-awtoritajiet isaħħu l-vjolenza li tidher fuq il-baħar. Raids fuq djar ta' dawk li jfittxu l-ażil, flimkien ma' dikjarazzjonijiet magħmula minn politiċi iħeġġu r-razziżmu u aktar vjolenza. Is-salvataġġ tal-migranti fuq il-baħar huwa obbligu legali kif ukoll morali. billi jonqos milli jitwettaq dan l-obbligu jew l-obbligi, il-gvern ipoġġi l-ħajjiet friskju u jikkomprometti il-valur tal-kompassjoni li nżommu f'qalbna. F'dan il-jum globali tal-kommemorazzjoni ta' din is-sena, Baħar Ċimiterju, se npoġġu dawn iż-żraben b'mod simboliku biex jgħinuna nikkonfrontaw il-mistoqsija min kienu dawn in-nies li ħajjithom intilfet fil-baħar minħabba l-azzjonijiet tal-gvern tagħna. Grazzi. I now invite Dursa to read a translation of the same joint statement by the 47 organizations that organized this event. Thank you, Dursa, for being with us.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everyone. I would like to thank you for follow our communities and the organization who put this effort, came together, and there's no word left to say it, but I was just one thing to say before I start reading my press. I was at this position 10 years ago before I came to Malta. The day before we left Malta, one boat left before us, which 24 hours later we heard those boat, everyone they died. But we have to take the same journey because we don't have option, we don't have choice. And the same people die in front of us, and they are literally dead before us in front 24 hours, and we have to take the same journey. By hoping, put my trust on God, because maybe I will cross, but if I don't cross, I'm going to be one of those people. And not because I'm a better, but I want to thank God for came to this earth, and those who can't stand same as today, and those people who have a dream, they can be a doctor, they can be engineer, they can be pilot, and they can save of our community, who can contribute to this country if they alive today. So I want to ask each and every one of you guys to have 10 seconds silent for those people. Thank you. Thank you. Because these people have a dream as we are today standing here, and everyone born with something that can contribute to this earth. So these people was unfortunate, they didn't get this chance to be with us today. So I will follow start in my press. And I want to thank you again for all the communities, all the organization putting all this effort, and putting this, make it happen for this our awareness. Global Day of the CommemorAction for the dead, missing pursued people and forceful dispersed at the sea and borders. The government continue abdicating of the search and rescue responsible of the contribution to that and the Mediterranean. More than 1,300 people died in or disappeared in the center of Mediterranean in 2022. These people, men, women, children, sons and daughters, can be added to the probability of that toll of more than 25,000 people who have died while crossing Mediterranean since 2014. The Maltese government continue failure to uphold its searching and rescue CAR responsible contribute to this death caused by putting life at risk in 2022. Maltese authority ignored more than 20,000 people in distress, 403 boat in distress. In Malta CSAR zone, we are not assessed only 3 boats were rescued by the Maltese armed force. People in distress in our CAR zone must be rescued without delay, desperate. Minister Camilleri Kamel of the Defend Our Realm government decision to delay and avoid rescue led direct to the loss of the life at the sea. 4-year-old Lijo died of chest in September 2022 after days of being desert in Maltese CAR zone. Her death makes clear that consequence the Maltese of our government action that murders policy adopted by the Maltese authority must be reversed. In 2022, further 24,600 people were pushed back to Libya after entries of the sea. Returning people to the Libya has been widely condemned for violating international law in the principle of non-refoulement Libya. Libya is not a safe place. Migrants regularly face torture, rape, and death. In country, yet on multiple occasions, Maltese authority has been allowed Libya's coast guard or escorted private violence vessel to return people to Libya. From Malta, searching to rescue zone Malta action result is in abuse, explosion of that of the 1,000 people, included children. In Malta government device rhetoric and the practice reinforce the violence seen at the sea. Raid of the asylum seeker home amongst a statement made by the politicians encouraging racism and the further violence. Malta and the Mediterranean should not be place of death, but rather place of safe refugee and safely. The government must resist its approaching toward migrant and engaging with those who dedicate to support migrant asylum seekers and refugees. Unity until the Malta will continue to be responsible for causing harm to those seeking better life. Saving migrant life is both legal and the normal obligation. By failing to fulfill those obligations, the government put life at risk and comparison of the value of the compassion that we hold that there. At this year Global Day CommemorAction action, we lay out shoes symptoms of to help us contribute to the question: who are these people who life were lost in the sea because of our government action? Thank you.
Grazzi Dursa, grazzi tal-li rajtina daw l-statement u l-erba kelmiet li għamilt qabel. Grazzi l-Spark 15 ukoll li naqdet magħna bħal ħafna organizzazzjonijiet tal-immigranti oħrajn biex norganizzaw din l-event. Nirringrazzjakom tal-li ġejtu u nittama li din l-okkażjoni sservi biex nibdew inkomplu fil-nissieltu għal kambjament dan ir-rigward. Grazzi.